Hello everybody, so today we are on with haymaking. It is the 1st of June, so it's early. Everybody in the area seems to be on. So the 1st of June is early for us to be making hay, especially where we do make our hay. This is some pretty wet heavy land that doesn't get going very early, and the crop is not massive, but we are on for reasons that will be explained in a minute. So we are just approaching the end of our first field of the day, and the sun is just about coming out. So we have had a lot of dry weather just recently. It's not rained since we did silage. So we did silage, we finished silage on I think Friday last week, might have been Thursday. I think it was, yeah, Thursday last week we finished silage. Tuesday this week we mowed this. Today is Thursday. We tedded a little bit yesterday afternoon, and we're going over it all today. Yeah, it's been a bit chilly for haymaking actually, but it's dry, that's the main thing. And the dry weather is set to stay for the foreseeable future. You know, as far as the forecasts go, it gives dry weather, which is good for haymaking, but not particularly good for grass growth in general, which is starting to slow down after months and months and months of rain. About 3 weeks dry, and all of a sudden we're looking for a bit more rain. So there we go, first field is done. Let's pull up to the gateway and go through in the next door. See what it's looking like. So the next field is untouched since it was mown, so we will get out and have a look. So what behind me, I've just tedded for the first time this morning. To our left, I tedded yesterday, so we'll go out in a minute, have a little wander around, check on progress. Okay, so this is just as it left the mower 2 days ago. It's looking nice and dry on the top, as you can see. It's not a heavy crop, like we've just said. So underneath, surprisingly dry. Still plenty damp enough, but you know, as yet unmoved. It's drying pretty well, considering sunshine yesterday was minimal. It was cutting bright sunny weather, bright sunny, actually quite windy weather. But today it's been dull and cloudy and chilly. But anyway, right, we'll put our curtain down, headland curtain. Okay, so this is yesterday's. So this was all tedded out yesterday. So it's looking nice and dry. There is still a good bit of moisture in the stems. The leaf is getting there. Leaf is looking good. Because we are very early cutting in the hay season, if you like. It is very leafy. It was going to seed, but there's a lot of leaf here. And one of the benefits of being cloudy, if you like, we've still got the colour in the leaf. Although it's drying, it's green. It's not green wet, it's green colour. so the sunlight hasn't bleached out the greenness, although it's still several days off from being fit for baling yet, as you know, because these stalks are still pretty green. So off we go on our first time round. So when we did the silage video, kind of part one of silage a couple of weeks back, we did a bit of tedding in that video, and I said I'd go around, and I said about we had to put the curtain down on the tedder to keep the grass away from the hedge, and we had a comment on that video: why are you going around the headland, or why are you tedding the headland first before you do the centre of the field? Because he always does his centres and then his headland last. I always do the headland first on the first time, and then for second and any more passes I do the headland last until we come to bale it. You know, if we're going to ted it ahead of the baler, which we do like to try and do, I always ted the headland first then, and then the centre, because if the rake is coming in within a few hours, I don't want to ted the headland last and then rake it first. So that's why I do things that way round. So it's just the way I do it. The first and the last pass of the tedder is always headland first. Other folk do it a different way, but that's the way I do it. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. As long as everything gets spread, I don't see as there is a right and wrong way to do it. So I said it right at the start of the video, and we're going early and we have a light crop. So this is a block of just over 50 acres of grass keep that we buy in every year. It's very wet land, and unless the conditions in the spring are just right, we don't come up here, because you know, it's easy to make a mess on this kind of ground. If the conditions aren't perfect, it's easy to make a mess. And this spring, with the wet spring, we just didn't have a window. Dry enough weather, just didn't have a window of suitable ground conditions to get up here. So the theory being, we would take a lighter cut now, when there is some rain in the forecast, we can then fertilise for a second cut. That's the plan, but we do obviously need some rain in the forecast to get that done. So the main reason for going early, like I said, 1st of June, it's probably 3 to 4 weeks ahead of where we'd normally be cutting up here. We have the weather, which is the most important thing. There is no sign of rain for at least 10 days, so to miss this kind of weather would be a bit daft. We do have a big project coming up at home for the summer that will be revealed in a few weeks' time, and that we want to be getting on with. So we get this job out of the way, that leaves us clear then to do that at home. Hopefully by taking a lighter crop in the first cut, we should, in theory, get a decent crop in the second cut. Although it has to be said, last year we took one crop and that was it. There was no second cut. It just didn't grow. So there we go, that's all the reasons for going early and why it is a light crop. It is light, it should be quality, it should be high quality. There's a lot of leaf in it. So we've got to do what we can to maintain that leaf, not smash it too hard and break the leaf and shatter it and not be able to bale it. So over this side of the field is a little bit heavier, a little bit greener underneath, but still nicely dry on the top. It's amazing what a bit of wind will do. Anyway, we are at a handy gap in the hedge. We can jump across and see what next door is up to. Okay, so this is next door's crop. This was cut a day ahead of ours and it's been moved quite a lot. And as you can see, it will be ahead. You know, obviously it's going to be drying quicker than ours. That's getting close. It's looking nice. He's probably not been out and tethered it yet today, but I'm sure he will. But yeah, the leaves look dry, but in the stems, look, still plenty green enough in the stems. But it's coming. It's looking good. Anyway, right. Let's get back to our side and get on with our job. Stop being nosy. Okay, so here we go, the last 2 swaths of the field and of the day. So that's it, that's everything covered. We're not moving it every day at the minute, so we're not tedding every day. We're leaving it, letting the sun and the wind do its thing. Like I said earlier in the video, we're not pressed for time. The weather is set. It's not massively heavy, so there isn't a lot of wet grass still hidden underneath. We're just going to let it take its time, you know, and just let it dry naturally and gradually, and preserve the leaf. That's what we've got to do. You know, every time we move it, we potentially break a little bit more leaf off. So by moving it as little as possible, we're you know, preserving that, maintaining the leaf. So there we go, we have brought you a bit of our tedding and a bit of next door. That is it, we will leave the video here. We'll come back baling in a separate video. That'll be next week. So I will say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.